Hello, students of class 10th. Good morning, all of you. Myself, Ayub Khan, your English teacher, is going to teach you first chapter of First Flight, A Letter to God. You know, there are some important characters in this chapter. Among them, Eng Ch A is main character. He is a farmer who writes a letter to God when his crops are ruined, asking for 100 pesos. He believes in God, that certainly God would send him 100 pesos to fulfill his family needs. While the letter he drops into the post office, a post letter, and the postman reads it. He laughs it and goes to his postmaster and shows the letter. Now I begin the chapter. The house, the only one, an entire valley sat on the crest of a low hill. Crest here means top of a hill. The house of Eng Ch A was located on the top of hill. He was living with his family, his wife, and some children. One day he went out to see his crops, and he noticed that his crops needed a downpour or at least a light shower. So, with the hopeful eyes, he looked toward the sky, thinking that God would help him and it would rain. During that time, his wife was preparing supper, and she replies, God willing, if God wishes, it would rain. She calls her children to come to eat their dinner because the dinner is ready. After few minutes, it started rain. Eng Ch A predicted that these big drops of rain are just like the silver coins. Now, with satisfaction expression, he was seeing the field, but in a short time, the rain converted into the large hailstones, and the entire crops were covered with hailstones, which looked like the salt spread over the field. Due to this, not a leaf remained on the branches of the trees as well as on the crops. The crop was entirely destroyed, the flowers were gone, and plants were broken. Eng Ch A was very sad and upset. While the storm passed, he was standing in the middle of the field, and he said to his sons, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. He hail has the hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. It means that they would have to remain hungry and would not get anything to eat. While he was thinking so, an idea came to him in his mind, because he was the man of unshakable faith in God. He was a believer of God. So he said, don't be upset. Always keep in mind, no one dies of hunger. It is the old saying. After some time, he wrote a letter to God and said, God help me. If you don't help me, my family would go hungry this year, and I urgently need 100 pesos of money in order to sow my crop and for the survive of my family. Writing the letter on the envelope, he wrote to God and dropped the letter in mailbox. While the postman opened the mail and he read the address to God, he laughed with full hearted and went to his boss, postmaster, and showed the letter. For some time, postmaster also became amazed. But after a little time, an idea came to his mind to help the man, and he collected some money with his subordinate employees and friends. He could collect 70 pesos, and he put the 70 pesos into envelope and sent to Lencho. While Lencho next Sunday goes to post office and asks his letter, the postman gave him letter. He was very happy, but while he opened the envelope and he found that there was only 70 pesos, he got angry and he wrote another letter to God to send him the balance money, but also requested God not to send the money through the post office because he said the group of post office employees are the group of or the bunch of crooks, means cheaters. So, oh God, don't send money by the post office. So, in this way, we can say the effort of kindness and helpfulness which was done by postmaster went in vain or useless. Thank you. Have a nice day. At the same time, the question, short and long answer, you can see on PDF collector of your school RRP. For other information, you can see Diksha app of NCRT. Thank you. Closely, Delia.